Hey guys, what's going on? My name is Yusha, and today we're actually going to be reviewing this ring right here. It's the Ultrahuman Air ring. So before we do get started, for this review, I'm basically just going to be talking about the wearability of the ring, the app and its features, battery life, and any criticisms that I actually have about the actual ring itself or even the software as well. Everything is going to basically have a timestamp, so just scroll along to whatever section that you actually find necessary for yourself in order to purchase this. And just real quick, this video is not sponsored. I do not make any money from Ultrahuman, and this is just a really quick and authentic review after having the ring for about, I would say, like 3 to 4 months now. All right, so without further ado, let's get into it. So the very first thing that I kind of want to talk about for the ring is the actual wearability. It is pretty comfortable, I'm not gonna lie. This is the ring itself. You'll see over here that it has a little bit of a bump, and the bump is basically just supposed to go right underneath your finger. I wear it on my index finger. Typically, I think that is what they have on their websites as like the best guidelines as well of actually wearing the ring. After a while, you kind of just get used to it. I wear it when I go to sleep as well. The only time that I really take it out is basically when I'm showering. Now, you can shower with this ring. It is waterproof or water resistant, but I just typically don't end up showering with it because that's the perfect time for me to just actually charge the ring. Now, this color in particular, underneath proper light, you can actually see some scratches on it, but that's completely fine because I actually wear this while weightlifting as well. So whenever I'm actually at the gym, I typically just put on this ring. I may put a real quick and cheap silicone cover on it, and I'm good to go. I typically end up taking off that cover when I'm just strolling about, going out my day, or just going to the office or driving or doing really whatever, just because I really do actually like the color of this ring. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm a very low-key person when it comes to like fashion and accessories and stuff, and I really don't like flashiness, so I was really debating on getting the matte black ring, but I'm not gonna lie, this color has really grown on me, and the shine and the appeal of it is just really great, even for somebody who's not really into fashion or just the glamorization of it all either. So definitely really good. Even without the silicone cover, however, whenever I actually do go to the gym and I'm lifting weights, whether I'm bench pressing or just doing bicep curls or really just anything that could potentially scratch this ring, yeah, there are a little bit of scratches, but I don't necessarily feel like it actually comes in my way either. So that's something that's really good about it as well. I just basically put it on, set it and forget it, and that's basically it. When it comes to actual sizing as well, they actually do end up sending you a free sizing kit. I think it's only for like $1, so you're not committed for that at all. If you already do know your ring size though, just you could just order whichever ring size that you actually have, but just keep in mind that they actually do send out a free ring sizing kit. I'm not going to really give them any plus points for that because apparently all the smart ring or smart wearable people actually give you a free sizing kit either way, whether it be Oura Ring or RingCon. Those are just two of their competitors as well. So the very next thing that I kind of want to talk about, and something that's really important, is battery life. I think it's kind of mentioned that this ring will actually last you about up until like 5 to 7 days or whatever. To be honest with you, I basically charge this ring every time that I actually shower, which is on the daily. And if you don't, then please consider showering on the daily basis. Even like 20-minute charge, it'll probably charge you up to like 50%, and then you're good to go for the entire day as well. Just normal use for the ring if you're not actively trying to start any workouts on the actual ring app itself, then you're good to go. It doesn't really consume that much battery. I really do think that you probably be fine with it for about 4 days or so. How it actually charges is this little thing right here. You basically just put your ring, you basically just take your ring, you put the ring on top, and then there you go, it starts charging as well. This needs to be wired in via USB-C, as you can see right here, and voila, you'll get that little light and you'll be good to go as well. When it comes to like charging from about 0 to 100%, I would say it probably takes about somewhere like 30 to 40 minutes per minimum, I would say. Have I actually ran out of battery? Yes, I have, but I'll actually get into that later. It's going to be a part of one of the criticisms or one of the cons of this ring in particular. So just fast forward using the timestamps if you actually want to know about that. I've had some battery issues, just to give you a little sneak peek as well. But overall speaking, on a typical day, battery life is amazing. I'm not going to lie. I can wear this ring for about 2 to 3 days without actually charging it, and we'll be good to go. Okay, so the next thing that I actually want to talk about and touch base on is something that's very important to your actual ring experience, and that's the Ultrahuman app itself. Now, this is the actual app itself. So basically, what you have over here on the top right, if you can see, it's basically your ring itself. I'm currently at 100% battery, as you can see, and then you have your circadian rhythm as well. I'm not gonna lie, circadian rhythm and circadian phase alignment, I'm not really a big fan of. I mean, I feel like that's just really typically useless information for me, but there are a lot of great things about this app itself. So for example, one of my favorite things about it is the caffeine window. Now, if you are somebody that consumes a lot of coffee or just caffeine in general, this is probably useful for you. Basically, what you have is that you have this entire threshold and this graph that you can actually look at and put, and it'll show you if it's still a good time for you to actually consume caffeine, and how much caffeine is it okay for you to consume without it actually interrupting with your sleep. So something really useful for people who are basically addicted to coffee. I don't really have that problem, so I'm good, but if you are, then really useful for you as well. I do love my steps. You can actually go in and actually set up goals, and you can see how many steps you've actually been taking as well, and how many calories that you've been burning, how many minutes you were active for, and active hours and workout frequency as well. So you can see all of those things. It'll give you a score based off of 100 as well. The one complaint that I will say that I have about movement itself is that, even let's say for example, even if your goal was 10,000 steps, even if you got 11,000 steps, it'll still not give you 100. It'll give you like an 82 or like something like that, some just random number. I'm guessing that's because of the amount of steps that you actually took in the time intervals that it has. That is just my hypothesis. I'm not sure. Like, for example, if you just didn't walk at all at like 9 a.m., but then obviously at like 9 p.m. you walked like 10,000 steps, then I guess that factors into the score. So just something to, think about. Stress rhythm. I've found that it always just shows that I'm either stressed or stimulated. I guess I am. I'm just a very active person. I just have a bunch of thoughts firing in my head, but you can kind of see here that it'll give you like the entire breakdown. It'll tell you when you actually worked out as well, using this little flame symbol that you have, so it'll show you that you had an activity. Speaking of activities, if you ever want to start a workout, all you have to do is press this plus sign on the bottom right, and then you just hit workout, and then it'll give you a warning, which is called the workout mode warning, and it'll just say, hey, the ring is going to consume more battery while you're actually using it to work out, and because it's basically going to be tracking more data or information. So I have found that this drains the battery a little bit faster, but once you hit continue, it'll basically just start your workout, and you can select whatever workout you want. I'm just going to do an outdoor walk, and you just hit start, and then there you go. It's basically tracking your workout. It'll track your heart rate, and it'll give you everything, and then I'm just going to end the workout for now because I'm not actually really working out. Sleep. I think this is one of the most important features about this ring and the app itself as well. The gap that you can kind of see over here is because my ring actually died before I went to sleep and I didn't notice, and because of that I was not able to track my sleep that day. But you can see over here it'll track how many hours you actually slept that day, how much time in bed, restorative sleep 35%, and what your heart rate drop was and where it was as well. And it'll give you all these different statistics as well, including sleep efficiency, temperature, and the different sleep stages as well. And at the end of every single week, it'll actually give you a weekly report. And since I'm actually recording this on a Monday, that's typically when it gives you the report. So you guys can kind of see what the report actually looks like. So you can see over here that my weekly sleep score was a 75, 72 for movement, and 67 for recovery as well. And it'll give you your sleep quotients, it'll give you your temperature, your HRV form, your steps as well, how many steps, like what do you actually need to improve on, and your activity, and your workout frequency as well. So, and you can obviously just scroll through the different weeks if you would like to as well. I will say one thing, however, is that I really do appreciate how much time that they're actually putting into this app. I do constantly see updates, like, for example, this tag feature where it says record what affected your sleep right in the middle of the screen. This was not actually available about, I would say, 2 weeks ago. So now it actually is. It'll automatically like suggest some tags for you. Like for example, if you overslept, one day I did. If you actually had a late night meal, this is something that happened that was really cool to me, at least. I remember I ate dinner really, really late. I ate dinner and I had like a full on meal at about 10:30 or 11 p.m. Okay, and then I went to sleep at midnight. Basically, based off of my heart rate drop and just my heartbeats while I was actually asleep, the ring actually detected that, oh, hey, it seems like you had a late night meal, and it automatically suggested this late night meal tag for me. I thought that was really great. I thought that was really crazy. I'm not exactly sure how they're doing it, but that was accurate, I will say. But there was another day that it actually suggested that I had another heavy late night meal, when in reality it wasn't heavy. It just had like some snacks here and there. So I just tagged it as like late night meal, but still fairly accurate. Precision can kind of work a little bit more. There's something called sleep debt as well. It'll just show you like, hey, if you haven't been sleeping like your 7 to 8 hours every single day, then sleep debt will accumulate, and it'll just show you that, hey, you should probably go to sleep a little bit earlier tonight. Dynamic recovery, it kind of just like gives you everything in regards to like your heart rate and your skin temperature and your averages of your HRV. HRV just means heart rate variability. I'm not exactly sure the science behind it either, but you can look that up by yourself on Google. I'm not a doctor here. This is also something new that came out. Ultra Age, that's come out about 2 weeks ago or so. It's saying that I'm aging 1.5 times faster than what I actually am. My pulse age is showing that I'm actually younger, according to my heart, than anything. I'm not exactly sure how accurate this information actually is, just because it actually just came out 2 weeks ago or so. And this is not something that updates daily, actually. This is something that it just calibrates and updates weekly based off of how you perform that week. Body signal, it'll just give you some type of trends. Like for example, my total calorie burn had decreased from 16% from last week. So it's basically trying to encourage me of like, hey, you should burn more calories, you should do this, you should do that. You can also start like meditations and breath work that you can see over here. I'm not really into all that, but yeah. You could also see like your individual markers and in terms of like heart rate, what your heart rate was throughout today, what your heart rate was every single day, and your weekly trends, your monthly, and your yearly trends as well. So pretty useful information, I'm not gonna lie. And you could also set up goals. So you could set up step goals, active hour goals. You could set up goals like waking up early. One of the other things that I want to kind of mention is basically the power plug store. It's basically just like extensions to the app. So for example, if you're women, then you can also track your menstrual cycles or your ovulations. You can also set up vitamin D. Like for example, this is actually active for me right now. I basically got 2% of my vitamin D goal. Your vitamin D is basically a vitamin that you can get by getting more sunlight. I barely get any sunlight because it's hot outside and I'm not trying to go outside. So either way, there's that. So I would say the app is pretty damn good. I'm not gonna lie. Definitely a very good experience as well. And just based off of the app and the information that it provides you a lot of information, and I clearly can see a lot of updates actually coming out, and I do hope that the updates will actually come out in the future as well. Now, the worst for last that I kind of saved is the criticisms or the cons of this ring itself. So one of the cons that I kind of alluded to before is that the battery life sometimes just dies. Like all of a sudden you'll just be going about your day, everything is going good, you checked your ring battery, but somehow, some way, it just randomly just dies on you. And I've noticed this trend, in my opinion. I think it's because whenever they actually push out another update to the ring, for some reason it just completely drains your battery, and until you actually update the app and just put your ring on charge, it just kind of glitches. So that's one of the downsides. That has happened to me about twice, I would say. Not so much of a deal breaker for me, but I will say it is something that was annoying. So just keep that in mind that like, hey, whenever they do push out updates to the app or to the ring itself on whatever they actually need to track, it'll probably happen about like once a month or maybe once every 2 months or something like that. I haven't really figured out the timeline on how many updates they actually push out, but that is something that is just always going to be there. But once you do end up actually just charging your ring, you're good to go. Okay, after that, you don't see any new issues. Would I recommend this ring? Yes, I would, but here's the thing. I only got this ring not because I wanted a ring. I was just really looking for anything that doesn't have a subscription, which this doesn't. The Ultrahuman Ring app and everything that you actually saw, it comes without a subscription. So you can track everything without the subscription. The ring by itself is about $300, which is basically worth an Apple Watch. I will say, if you already do have an Apple Watch, would I recommend you getting this ring because you need it? Trust me, you do not need it. Everything that this ring does, an Apple Watch will do for you for free as well, especially if you already have it as well. Would I pick this over the Oura ring? Honestly, yes, I would, just because this does not have any subscriptions, and that's literally my deal breaker for the Oura ring or really any wearable tech out there. I hate paying for subscriptions, and I'm not going to pay for subscriptions just for tracking my fitness activities. I think it's a scam, and that's literally one of the reasons why I actually chose the Ultrahuman ring. There's also another competitor. There's RingCon as well. One of my friends, they actually have the RingCon, and I asked them about their experience, and we kind of exchanged notes about the Ultrahuman and also the RingCon. They said that the Ultrahuman Ring app by itself is so much better than the RingCon app because they can't track workouts after they happened or can't log activities after it happened. So just something to keep in mind. This is not my own personal experience. This is just something that somebody had told me about too. So take it with a grain of salt. I haven't tried it personally. Why else did I get the Ultrahuman ring? I did have an Apple Watch before. I used to track all my activity with it, but to be honest with you, I just really wanted to wear regular watches. So I was like, okay, well, I'm not going to wear an Apple Watch anymore all the time, so that's why I just ended up buying a ring. I would have definitely preferred to buy something like the Whoop band, but again, like I said, subscriptions, I hate subscriptions. They can go to hell, and that's literally why I just chose the Ultrahuman rings. That was my own experience about the Ultrahuman ring. Those are my thoughts on it. That's my little 3-month review on it as well. Let me know if you guys have any questions or concerns about the ring. I'll try my best to answer it in the comments down below or just make another video on it as well. And as always, I hope you like this video and come back to the channel for more content like this because I plan on shooting a lot. Also, I am shooting this on the Osmo Action 5 Pro. So if you're into that camera, I'll eventually be making a review on that as well. And just like this video right here, that is also going to be not sponsored, so you'll get a full-fledged take on if you guys should actually buy the camera or if you're just thinking that it's going to be a worthless purchase to you as well. All right, my name is Yusha, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye guys.